the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
This was tough. This was tough. This political stuff is nasty and it's tough. So I want to thank my family very much. Really fantastic. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Welcome back. It was a tough campaign, as you heard there. Many feel some of the issues that came up, things that were said, the positions taken were kind of below what voters expect in a presidential campaign. Joining me once again, Xavier Political Science Professor Sean Comer and WCPO political reporter Paula Christian. And, I mean, you hear Donald Trump say it there, this was nasty. He's not a politician, he's a businessman. He entered this arena, and there were comments that he made that were vulgar, that offended people, and even members in his own party left him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, two of the highest profile in Ohio were Governor Kasich, who had an all-out war with Trump, and Senator Portman, who was a little quieter in his distancing himself from Trump, but eventually pulled his endorsement of him when that controversial videotape of Trump making the lewd comments about women came out. But that's the big question: is how will those relationships look going forward?
When you mentioned Governor Kasich, real quick, let's listen to what Governor Kasich had to say when he was questioned this week.
Today I said my prayers on the plane for the success of Donald Trump, and I think as Americans we all need to come together, because it's the lives of our children, my daughters here, that a president of the United States can really have success.
So you're seeing this now, you know, again, Governor Kasich didn't go to the RNC. He didn't participate in any of that. He didn't endorse Donald Trump as the nominee. And then you hear him say this. But that's kind of the message that we're hearing from a number of Republicans now, to say, this is who is our president. We have to now back him and move forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, what choice does he have? I mean, what else could you possibly say? I mean, you know, he is the president, and to say anything besides that would make Kasich look terrible. So of course he has to support the president.
And you have a Republican-controlled House, I mean,
there's a real opportunity for Republicans. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, they want to get something out of this, so they're going to all come together as best they can.
Well, no matter what elected office you're in, if there's not term limits, you're always thinking about the next election as well. And you see Trump elected by sort of a new group of voters who haven't traditionally come out, and to speak out against him and continue to do so once he's the president, you know, it creates some risk in your own mind about, well, what about the next Republican primary that comes up?
We saw House Speaker Paul Ryan welcome him into his office, took him out on the balcony, said this is pointing down, this is where you're going to be sworn in. They're building the stage right now. So you're seeing that kind of kumbaya, circle the wagons, you know, let's move forward. As a professor, how will this campaign be studied for years, if not decades down the road?
Oh, I think you go all the way back to the beginning of the primaries and the way that Trump broke every rule, I think, that you could possibly imagine when it comes to what you can and can't say, and how you attack the members of your own party. And it's going to be hard not to look at it and wonder, you know, will more campaigns be like this in the future? How does it look for both Democrat and Republican politics in the future? And then, too, how do you then transition from that and pivot to go govern? So the story hasn't ended yet. The campaign has, but there's a lot of chapters left, and so I think it's definitely going to be something that people will look at, from how he ran his campaign to the role that social media played in it, to the role that it will play in his governing.
Because he ran this campaign 140 characters at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he really did.
So untraditional. He didn't do anything that normal politicians do, and he won. He won anyways. He almost won in spite of himself. But it just speaks to the unhappiness of the disaffected voter who is not being heard, who feels left behind by their leaders. And, you know, the Kasichs and the Portmans, who might not like Trump, they have to understand there were millions of Ohioans who voted for Trump. And they support him, and they have to reach out to those voters.
Especially if they plan on running in
the
future and doing anything in the future. All right. We still have a lot more to come on This Week in Cincinnati. Stay with us. We're going to take a look at how some of the local races were decided on Tuesday as well.